Chen, Director General, and our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. At first, I want to congratulate the Mount Jade Association for the 20th anniversary. And also, secondly, I want to congratulate all the youth award winners and your parents for your great accomplishments. Tonight, it is my great pleasure to introduce the motivational speaker, the council member Alex Wan of the city of Atlanta. Alex, yes, please, Alex, yes. Alex has been the city council member since 2010. His accomplishments is just so overwhelmed. I'm just very impressed with his accomplishments for the last 25 some years that I have known his family. So he got his bachelor's degree from Georgia Tech and had his MBA degree from the prestigious Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania. His heart is always for the community. He always thinks ahead what we can do for those people who are disadvantaged in the community, like those children or those people with illness. So in the past years, he had shown his heart in the community through a lot of different community services. To just name a few, he was volunteered with Project Open Hand, which provides meals for those living with a chronic disease. Also, he was heavily involved with other similar organizations like Our House Inc., the Joining Hearts Host Committee, as well as he formed a very good organization for children called the Kid in All of Us Inc., which hosts an annual toy and a school supply drives for those disadvantaged children in Georgia. And he has also been involved in a lot of the leadership programs. The Leadership Atlanta, the very prestigious leadership class. He worked hard to help people to understand what our Asian Americans are and what the community has to offer. And he also was served as a member and also in 1999 the chairperson for Leadership DeKalb. There are just so many good things that Alex has done. To just name a few, he has recognized for his major accomplishments as the 40 under 40. That's a Georgia Trend, a very prestigious award. And also, I want to say that there is another award that is so much of the pride from the youth group. It's called the Philip Rush Award by Youth Pride for his exemplary support of youth in Georgia. And before I ask Alex to come to the stage, I want to share a little story about him that was shared by his classmates in high school. Okay. One day I saw a very beautiful young lady. So she said, I said, well, how did you do in school? And she said, you know, I'm doing very well, except I'm always the second best in the whole school. I said, well, if that's the case, who's the best in the whole school? She said it was Alex Wan. She had tried all her years trying to beat Alex Wan, but none of the chances. So let's welcome someone who always does his best best to serve the city of Atlanta and all of us Alex One.
Oh, I hate introductions like that. Okay, they moved the podium away from the microphone, so I'm going to have to wing it. Director General Cao and distinguished guests, and to the Mount Jade Association, it's an honor and privilege to be here with you tonight. I too want to congratulate all the Young Achievers Awards, and I'm going to direct my comments to y'all because y'all are the young kids now. I can say that because I'm 45. She said I won an award for being 40 under 40, but I'm not under 40 anymore, so. I have the very difficult challenge of giving a motivational speech to a group of kids who clearly need no motivation. I mean, you've accomplished so much, and I think what I'm going to do instead is just try to share with you what I've learned along the way, some of the experiences that have shaped me, and hope you find something in there that may resonate with you or may inspire you, or maybe you'll tuck it away later and it'll be like, aha, that made a lot of sense. So quickly, just some background information on me, and you'll understand why as I go through my remarks. But I grew up here in Atlanta, in Stone Mountain, went to DeKalb County High School, went to Georgia Tech. Very excited to see a lot of y'all had Georgia Tech on your wish list for colleges. I started off as a chemical engineer there, and hit organic chemistry and said, nope, I'm done. I had enough math and science classes at that point so I could continue on with industrial engineering. Worked on Wall Street as an investment analyst for a bit, got my MBA from Wharton, and one of you wants to go to Wharton too. Which one was it? Was it her? Okay. I'll talk to her about that later. And then a funny thing happened along the way, and that was in 2003. I started a nonprofit, as Dr. Tan mentioned, and that really changed my life. I found a passion in me that I wanted to be in community and public service, and two big things happened after that. One is I ran for the State House of Representatives in 2004 and lost, but then I also in 2009 made a jump and decided to work full-time in the nonprofit sector. I now work for Emory, and as you know, in 2009 I ran for Atlanta City Council and won. So this is all going to make sense in a little bit. But there are three key lessons that I've learned kind of along the way, and I hope that this will stick with y'all and help you in some times of question or times of doubt or in times of just wondering what direction you're heading. Number one is math and science background has always been one of the keys of my success. It's been a great foundation, and I'm not just saying that because I'm here with Mount Jade, but seriously, I think many can master the arts and humanities, but not a lot of people can master math and science. And once you can master that, you've got so much flexibility to build on. You don't have a fear of numbers like a lot of folks do, and you kind of have this logical thinking and this basis for discovery. My experience on Atlanta City Council, and I can say this because none of my city council mates are here, sometimes I feel like an alien down there because I'm trying to follow this logical path and trying to build a case, and no one seems to understand what I'm saying. So I'm hoping that the next generation of kids who actually think logically and have a good quantitative basis will rise up and eventually join the ranks. Second point, I hope that you will never be afraid to try and stretch. I'm sure success has come very, very easily to y'all because you're smart, you're very, very talented, but I want to challenge you to try to be successful at things that you're not sure that you're going to be successful at, because I think that's one of the greatest senses of satisfaction is if you're not sure you can accomplish it and you have doubts and yet you do it anyway. I think, but more importantly than that, I think when you do that, you are going, with great reward comes great risk. Actually, it's the other way around, but there's a risk of failure. And I was talking with Dr. Wong today. One of the lessons that my father taught me was that you actually learn more from the times that you fail than the times that you succeed. I can actually remember very, very distinctly some instances in my life where I failed. There was a thing at Georgia Tech that I really wanted, and I did not get it. I really wanted to go to Stanford Business School, and I didn't get in. And then I mentioned the state house race that I lost. But each one of those experiences I've learned from it. I figured out what I did wrong, and the next time around I actually was successful. Got into Wharton Business School and was successful to Atlanta City Council 5 years later. And through that, I mean, you've got to just continue to challenge yourself to learn and push yourself. And the final thing is, change is going to be inevitable. I mean, I like the fact that you all have very specific ideas of what you think you want to be when you grow up. Like I said, I started off, I thought I was going to be a chemical engineer. I was going to invent this great new alternative fuel that was going to wean the U.S. off of petroleum. And then, like I said, I hit organic chemistry and I said, okay, I'm done. And nothing in my career path I could have predicted 30 years ago when I was in high school. I never dreamed that I would be working in the nonprofit sector. I never dreamed that I would be in elected office, but here I am, and I'm loving every minute of it, and I really believe in what I'm doing. So I don't want you to put so much pressure on yourself to figure out right now what you want to do, because it's probably going to change, and when it changes, be okay with that, because there's a reason you're on it. You're going to chart your path, but you're so successful now that there's no reason you're not going to be successful in that path. Although they've only given me 15 minutes, I've got the microphone, so I'm not giving it up just yet. I want y'all and every other young person in here to please consider community and public service. And this week's election may have, depending on which side of the game you're on, may have disenfranchised a lot of you, but that's all the more reason to get involved. That's how I got started. I was very frustrated with a certain political election, and rather than sitting back and complaining about it, I decided I'm going to be the change that I want to see. The other thing is, Asians, we are so underrepresented when it comes to community service and public service, and that has to change. Decisions are being made that impact us, and we need to be at the table when those decisions are made. Just pick an area and get involved, and it's not just because of college applications, but do it because you're really interested in doing it. And this is a shameless plug. If you are interested in politics and political races, next year's re-election for me, so come on board and join my team. I'll teach you a lot of things. So I'm going to close with this thought. Honestly, when I read all the accomplishments that y'all have made, you kind of motivate me. My father came to the U.S. to create an opportunity for me and my sister, and we have tried to take full advantage of that. There are people in this room that created the award, the association, and their objective is to create an opportunity, continue creating an opportunity for kids like you. And when I read about all the accomplishments y'all are doing, it motivates me even more to continue what I'm doing down at City Council. You know, honestly, when I played the violin when I was a kid, it was a squeaky mess. And that was pretty good. And I never, ever, in like the 5 years I tried, could solve a Rubik's Cube. So if I can be a City Council person, you know, y'all can be biomedical engineers, you can be business people, you can be a doctor, you can be, you know, an engineer, you might be mayor, you might be a senator. But if you just kind of keep in mind the three things that I said earlier, I honestly can't think of anything that you, given the accomplishments that you already made, won't be able to do. And I really look forward to seeing all the great things that y'all are going to become. So thank you very much and good luck.